Özcan.
Evet, kahvaltımızı aldık.
Tamam. Neyi bekleriz şimdi? Taklaşları.
Taklaşları bekleriz. Nereye gidiyoruz?
Yes.
Grasse. Bugün 12'si. 12
Pazartesi.
2017 Pazartesi. Grasse'a gidiyoruz.
Yarın son gün.
Taklaşlar hazır değil daha.
İşte yarın son günümüz. Yarın da Monte Carlo.
Ladies and gents, apologies for the delays this morning with breakfast. It sounds like the Sunday night
9:20 ve hareket etti.
as well. And the wind breeze set, so of course they've got no light, no heat or no cooking or anything in there this morning. So fingers crossed they'll get that fixture in the course of the day. And I think the electrician was actually there when we left, so hopefully they're already into sorting that out.
Yeah, so it's today.
And we're heading off for a can. And up to this afternoon, it's up to the perfume factory and perfume capital of that is known as Grasse. So what I'll do is the usual one. We're running down along the Riviera motorway, the motorway of Flowers, heading obviously into France. Might have to stop or show our passports on the way through into France. It's happening more and more recently. And then obviously we'll head down into Cannes itself, visit Cannes first, give you plenty of time to have a little look around Cannes. I'll tell you a little bit more. There's a Dotto train there you might like to have a little go on, shows you everything there is to see in Cannes. It's quite a good way of getting around, it's only fairly cheap. The only proviso on that one is it depends if there's a cruise ship in or not. If there's a cruise ship in, it can be very difficult. The queues for the Dotto train are usually quite long, it can be difficult to get on, but we'll see when we get there anyway. So anyway, sit back, relax for a minute, enjoy the scenery. When we get a little bit close to Cannes, obviously I'll tell you a little bit more about it. Just phoning through to confirm numbers for a trip into you this afternoon at about 3 o'clock with about 20 people. I think about 20 people. Well, it's not the agency, it's Shearing's Coaches, or Shearing's Holidays. My name is Ian, I-A-N. So I can adjust it on the spot.
Kana geliyoruz değil mi? Ve Grasse. Bilmekçiyen girdiğe var. Ama bugün okullu günüdür. Tamamdır.
Arrivederci.
Arrivederci.
Very loud, but pretty sort of... These bits here are what's left of the original customs posts, and as you can see they've had a bit of a refurb and they're obviously looking at putting it back in the near future, so it's all had a little bit of a rejig. So all to do with say France potentially coming out of the Schengen agreement. Well, they say they don't know, but the evidence sort of kind of leads the other way because all the borders are slowly going up. They're at Lintown, of course, we visited the other day.
Yes. Şu anda Fransa'dayız. Aşağıda Menton geçen gün gelmiştim.
to the west of Nice, so just getting right way around Nice, and then we'll drop down into Cannes. Between the 11th and 14th centuries for defence. At the time of the French Revolution, Cannes came under state control. Before the French took over during the Revolution, it had previously been under the control of Genoa and part of Liguria, but obviously then became part of France. A lot of this, a lot of the border areas on the continent, they sort of wandered backwards and forwards between different states over the centuries. However, its history as a fishing village was destined to change dramatically in 1834 when Lord Ruthven Vaux happened to visit Cannes. He fell in love with it. The town became an elegant, aristocratic resort for European nobility. The English General Taylor had the castle of St George built in 1837. The next year work began on the harbour, and also the road that was then known as Chemin de la Petite Croix. The road wants to do, and then obviously we'll give you plenty of time to have a good look around Cannes before we head up this afternoon and go up to the perfume factory at Grasse. 5,600 capacity.
So football and rugby.
Train was covered in graffiti. I think it's actually painted like that. And industrialists. It's on the French Riviera, tucked up underneath the Alpes Maritimes, and it's most famous, of course, for the film festival. That dates back to 1946, so it's been going on, and it's held in May. We just missed it, but that's quite a good thing, to be honest, as you can't get near Cannes when the film festival's on. Most famous, the Boulevard de la Croisette, which is the one you'll see on the news when they show pictures of the various celebrities and so on to do with the films, all having their photograph taken with all the beautiful palm trees and so on lined along it. Very lovely sandy beaches, and also some very upmarket beats and boutiques and palatial hotels, very, very posh hotels. The place that the film festival takes place these days is the Palais de Festival Congress, which is where the famous red carpet is, which they've left out normally. So you should be able to have your picture taken on the red carpet, sort of pretend you're one of the stars.
Yeah.
And that area there is known as the Walk of Fame. There are also a few bits, a bit like in America, in Los Angeles, where they've got the hand imprints in the in the pavement. Not a huge number of those, but they're all up near the Palais de Congress, where you've got the Walk of Fame. That's also where the tourist office is, so if you want to grab yourself a map, the tourist office is in that same block. I'll point it all out to you when we get in there. You know, just a few of the hotels. You've got the Carlton Intercontinental Majestic, JW Marriott Cannes, just to sort of mention just a few of them, but there are some very, very impressive, very beautiful hotels. The other thing, going back a few centuries, you've still got Le Souquet, the old town. If you're feeling sort of fit enough, and it is a little bit warm today, but it is well worth the climb up there to see the views up from the top and from the watchtower at the top that I was talking about earlier, that was built in order to basically keep out the African pirates, was the reason they built the watchtowers. You can see, certainly from the top of there, you can see them from the beach as well. You've got the two islands there, the island of Santa Margarita, which was where the man with the Iron Mask was imprisoned for 11 years, and then you've got the smaller island just behind it, which was the Isle of St Honorat, which is privately owned by a group of monks, and they have their monastery on the island there. As well as the film festival, they have quite a few festivals. So you've got yachting festivals and all sorts of pieces. They're also quite famous for the Festival of Games, which is where they play bridge, backgammon, chess and draughts, and baccarat are the ones. That's held in February, and it's and also sort of keeping up with its posh English traditions. It's Twin Town. Anybody like to take a guess? Kensington and Chelsea. So obviously keeping up with its posh royal and noble connections in the past. So Twin Town, Kensington and Chelsea. Right, here we come. We're just coming up. You can see the Dotto train point just ahead of us.
Becan hadi galiba bitiriyoruz. Daha 20 geçti, 20'yi de geçti. 25 oluyor. Lazım bitirelim. Ondan sonra biz kendimiz gezeriz. Ha, indik denize Becan. Becan hangisini beğendin? Biz bütün Kıbrıs'ı satsak alamayız onu. Bu taraftakiler nasıl? Ama hepsi şey. İster miydin bir tane?
Yarım milyoner olursa alırım.
Film festivalinin olduğu yerdeyiz Becan.
Evet. Cannes Film Festivali.
Evet.
Yapıldığı.
Burası tabii kapalıdır şimdi.
Evet, Mayıs'ta yapılmış.
He,
Biz yetişemedik.
evet. He.
Bakacaklar onlar da odacıkları.
Tamam Becan. Hadi gel. Gördük artık. Evet. Kotto Zulu. Ha.
Guided tour in English included, show you around how they make perfume and so on. And have a little wander around. It's quite an interesting tour apparently. I haven't actually done that on myself yet, but I'll be able to today just for a change. De Parfum. Many noses. Somebody who's a nose is capable of sniffing out all the different bits that you have to go to make a certain perfume, make it right. Have been trained or spent time in Grasse in order to distinguish between over 2,000 different kinds of scent that go into making up a various different perfume.
Yes.
He's got, you see, he's got Winston Churchill, Charles de Gaulle, and various other ones if you look closely. The wartime leaders. So it's obviously something to do with the war and because the similar Churchill with the, I was going to say the two fingers, but it's probably.
Sıcaklık dışarıda 32 derece santigrat.
See one of the stills for making the perfume just over there on the as we come round about. Very similar to how they make alcohol. Also, they'll explain that to you when you go around the museum.
I went a bit wrong last time. This roundabout.
There we go, coach park just coming up the left hand side, so I'll jump out in a second, go and get everything sorted, and hopefully by the time Judy's parked up, so we'll all be ready for you.
Roundabout, make sure someone's to reverse me anyway.
Welcome to Fragonard. Have you ever heard of us? No?
Yes, yes.
Yes, maybe. Yes. But have you ever heard of me?
No.
No. Nobody? I'm like Johnny Depp. from now. You want to know from? India. So for the videos, as internet's the factory, you cannot you can take photos but no videos. Okay?
Değil mi Ozan? Tamam darling. Ama herkesten yeni gelir buraya.
Hani alan yok be.
Kanı bitirdik ha. Kanı bitirdik bugün.
Parfüm shop'a da gittik.
Parfüm shop'a gittik. Ve geri dönüyoruz. Yarın son gün. Onu da Monaco'ya gideceğiz. Değil mi mesela?
Ve çarşamba yola.
dinner coming out or lunch coming out late. So obviously the day sort of we've given you progressively sort of a little bit longer as the day's gone by, just to make up the fact we were a bit late away from the hotel, give you as much time as you're supposed to, all these places. Anyway, so we're nearly back to the hotel now. Dinner as usual 7:30, and obviously breakfast tomorrow from 8, providing they haven't done the electrics in again. And we're away at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, heading down to Monaco and Monte Carlo.
Good.
So it's I think should be a fair few on the coach tomorrow. It's usually a popular trip, that one. A lot of the reason a lot of people come down here. So anyway, so we're heading to Monaco, Monte Carlo. If anybody wants to add themselves onto the tour around actually Monaco, Monte Carlo itself, with Daphne tomorrow, there's you're more than welcome. Just have a word with Julie or myself, and we can add you onto the trip. It's €15 that one, so if you want to add that one, that's we'll fine with that. That's not a problem. And we'll see you we'll see you around the hotel anyway, but we'll see you 9 o'clock tomorrow morning when we head from Monaco, Monte Carlo, and that'll so that should hopefully you should leave a little bit more on time tomorrow, fingers crossed. Anyway, thanks very much for your company today. Thanks Julie once again for driving, and we'll see you around the hotel a little bit later on. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Ne oldu şimdi?
Thank you deriz.
You look lovely dedim ama
Hadi vallahi ne yağcısın sen bak. Sen de çok yağcısın be can. Yağ çeken. Tamam.
Well, actually, it's still not responding.
Yoktu.
Hopefully, when you sit down there tonight, it'll just come over and
Geldi.
no.
because we haven't.
Daha geldi.
Ama connection şey değil. No internet. Just geldi ama gitmez. Orada kalır.
Wine'ımızı aldık be can. Gel buraya bak.
Oraya
It'll be sorted.
değiştireceğim. Ben başladım yemeğe.
İstarter aldık değil mi?
Ben başladım
Ne
yemeğe.
kadar istarter aldın sen? Yemekteyiz ha. Lovely. Artık yarın son günümüz be can. Yazık ya, yazık, çok yazık. Bitti bitti.